Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Doom Tomb podcast. My name is Chris. I am your host. And before we start the interview, I think we should start off with a song. This is from a new album by the band Blackwulf, Blackwulf. This is Gate of Sorrow. That was Blackwulf from their latest release, Sinister Sides. So many other great tracks. Some of my favorites, some of my standouts are Waiting on Tomorrow and Dead to the World. Go over to Ripple Music, check it out, and purchase a copy. You won't be disappointed in it. Also, geez, man, I got back last night from the Crescent Ballroom to listen to a great bunch of bands. Bloodlust was the first band up, nice black metal with a little bit of death thrown in. The band Goya, which is now currently on tour, and they've always put on a great set, loud as hell, doom as fuck. Full of Hell, which, I don't know, not even sure how to describe them. It's like tech death, but maybe like kind of like Dillinger Escape Plan or something related to that. Either way, they destroyed the stage and got the pit just rolling huge. And finally, Gate Creeper. If you haven't checked them out yet, please do so. It is a great, great band. Fantastic to see live. You will not be disappointed by checking them out. So, who do we have today? We have Sean Boyles, the drummer for Zed, but also he's in a couple other bands. He's in Hellbeard and Bloodline, Insolence. He was in a band called Lickasto, Licasto, and All Time Highs. And we go through the whole gambit here. Now, I don't have all the members of Zed. I have Sean, and then towards the end, I had Mark come in and just talk for a few seconds. But basically, this is like an interview for Sean, and we talk about everything. We talk about food, whether it's sushi, or burgers, or hot sauce. We talk about the drum setup. He uses Gretsch, and it was, well, you'll hear the story. Also, we talk about a couple other bands, whether it's Slingerland, Direct Collapse. We hear stories about Pantera, stories about Death Angel, Ultraviolence, shout out, huge album in the 80s. You'll also hear about Cherry Cokes. Who the hell are the Cherry Cokes? Listen and you'll know. Also, there was another band that he turned me on to called The Bronx. Fell in love with them, just started listening to them recently, never heard of them before. Check it out, see if it's for you. The Bronx is great, some great stuff. And anything that you need, Zed, you could check out at Ripple Music. Their latest release is on Ripple Music, so go check that out now. Okay, I think it's time. Here we go. This is the interview with Sean Boyles from Zed. Here we are, we're still at South by Southwest, and I am with the drummer of the band Zed. How the hell are you, brother?
What's up, man? I'm
Please
good.
Introduce yourself.
My name is Sean Boyles.
And what is going on? What's going on with this tour, man?
Basically, we flew out for South by Southwest. We were able to do a few shows out here, so we flew out, and everybody that we've played with has been super kind to let us use their gear.
Right.
Because it's really hard to bring a lot of gear on planes.
Sure.
So
now, you're coming from what, San Jose?
Yeah. Zed's from San Jose. Yeah, I live in the East Bay of the Bay Area, so I got to drive south to jam with those guys. But
right.
And I'm the new guy too. So
you're a fairly new guy.
I'm the fairly new guy. I've been in the band probably officially about a year. But I had been filling in for their drummer for almost a year, even before that.
Really?
So yeah.
What were you doing before? What band?
I have a couple bands in the Bay Area still that I'm doing. I got a band called Hellbeard.
Hellbeard.
That is from Oakland.
Is that one word?
That is one word, Hellbeard. There's a Hellbeard Bandcamp page that's got Hellbeard stuff on it, and then we got Facebook and all that shit.
And what style?
Hellbeard's kind of more sludgy, kind of Neurosis style stuff. We'll go a little bit more atmospheric and kind of trip out on some.
You get a little trippy.
We'll get a little Floydy sometimes. You know what I mean? Like clean channels, nice swirly kind of stuff, and then turn around and
just punish.
Yeah, Hellbeard started off as a 5-piece band with 3 guitar players.
Right.
Now we're a 3-piece with no bass player. So. I don't know how the fuck we're doing that, but that's what we're doing.
You're making it work.
We're making it work, and that's been my I kind of steer that ship maybe a little bit more than some of the other bands I'm in.
Right.
I also got 3 years ago I joined a band out of San Jose called Insolence, who's been around for 20 years or whatever.
Right.
They're kind of stuck in 1999 because I got a DJ and a couple MCs and stuff like that. But they're old friends of mine, and they allow me to go to Japan. I've been to Japan twice with those guys.
Oh, so well, here's a question for that.
Of course.
So you've been to Japan.
I have.
Is American sushi any good compared to Japanese?
It's close. I mean,
really?
Fortunately, for us in California, we're by the water.
Right.
You know what I mean? And in Japan's surrounded by water. So my girlfriend. So I met a chick over there, and I've brought her over here.
Right.
But when she comes over here, she wants nothing to do with getting any Japanese food here.
Really? She thinks it's below par.
No, she wants fucking In-N-Out.
Are you kidding me?
She wants Cheesecake Factory. She wants She wants all the American shit she can get her hands on. You know what I mean?
Does she go? What is it? What do they call it in In-N-Out? What's the secret thing? The monster style? Is that what
animal
it's called?
style.
Animal
is,
style.
The grilled onions or whatever the hell.
Yeah.
I mean, I just get a couple burgers and get out of there. You know.
All right. So we got In-N-Out. Now I'm out in Arizona, so there's also Whataburger.
Yeah, they got Whataburgers out here in Texas too. Yeah.
And Jack in the Box.
That's about it.
So now you got those three. Can you give an order top to bottom? Which is the best?
Between In-N-Out, Whataburger, and Jack in the Box?
Yeah.
I would probably go In-N-Out, although I probably eat Jack in the Box more often than not. They don't have Whataburgers in
Whataburgers.
They don't got boogers in California. They got a Whataburger in California? They don't, right?
No.
We had it once when we were here last May. We had Whataburger in.
Are you a fan of spice?
I like spices.
Because they got the spicy ketchup.
The spicy ketchup, yeah.
And then they have the spicy, it's almost like a spicy ranch, a spicy jalapeno ranch.
That sounds amazing.
That is incredible stuff, especially if you like the heat.
I do like some heat. I can handle some hotter shit than most.
If we're talking heat, so like we were having some pizza earlier, and I was talking to somebody telling them like, I like a little hot sauce on my pizza. My girlfriend is dead set against it. I'm a Cholula man.
There you go. That's some hot sauce. That's some good hot sauce. Yeah.
A little chipotle, chili lime.
Yeah. I don't mind hot sauce. I don't know if I've actually tried hot sauce on pizza, but I'm not against it. I'm against fucking pineapple though on pizza. You can kick rocks with that shit. That's an abomination.
It's so funny. Like again, like in our house, we're not allowed to have a Hawaiian pizza.
Oh.
But I'm not against it. I don't mind.
No.
All right, so you're more traditionalist. You don't go rogue with like artisan.
I'll put every kind of meat there is on a pizza, but I ain't putting no fucking fruit. You can keep that shit. You know what I mean? Especially a Hawaiian fruit.
Say no to citrus on pizza.
No citrus, no nothing. Just keep and then lay off the vegetables. But I got a problem when it comes to that shit. So
come to vegetables,
I just don't do it.
Nothing green.
Not
there's
too often.
maybe one type of green.
No, I don't even do that.
Oh, really?
I'm one of those weird, rare breeds that don't drink, don't smoke, don't do nothing.
Hey, nothing wrong with that.
I mean, some say it's, how can I rock if I'm not fucking fucked up? But I think I rock okay.
Maybe you rock harder. Well,
I remember it. At least that's.
Let me talk about that. So, do you have a like a special drum kit that you bring on tour as opposed to one that you do in studio?
If I can. Well, fortunately for me, I got a few different kits. Be it that I got out of the 5 bands I'm in,
right,
back home, 3 of them are active. One of them being Zed. Insolence is pretty active, and Hellbeard's pretty active. So those 3 bands keep me pretty busy. I have 2 more bands that don't really get down too often.
Right.
One called All Time Highs, which is a knuckle dragging, dirty rock and roll band with the singer for Death Angel sings with us.
Really?
Yeah, he's our singer.
Oh my
when
gosh!
When he's got time and he wants to slum it, he'll hang out with us and do some dirty rock and roll shit. That dude. You think Death Angel, you think fucking thrash metal, Bay Area, fucking, metal. That dude's a fucking rocker at heart. That dude fucking rocks, and he sounds great singing on just, we call it bar fighting rock and roll. It sounds like the shit that's getting played during the bar fight scene of a movie.
Yeah, like almost like a biker rock or
Yeah, we're fast. It's the big AC/DC chords
right
at minor threat tempos.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
nice.
So it feels like the fucking rails are gonna fall off in any minute, but
it's a hauling back punch in the face.
Yeah, it's gnarly and it's fun. It's the funnest band I do for sure. And then I got an acoustic project with me and my cousins called Bloodline that I haven't really got off the ground, but it's all I sing and play guitar in that group. So everything else I play drums in, but this acoustic project.
So I guess the question is, do you ever stop?
There's one more thing I do on top of those things. Right. About 2 years ago, I started doing stand-up comedy.
Really?
So I'm doing stand-up now too. In fact, when we get home, we're gonna play San Antonio tomorrow night, and we're getting on a plane early Sunday morning to fly back to San Francisco, to San Jose. We fly to San Jose Airport. I got a comedy gig Sunday night in San Francisco at Cobb's.
At Cobb's.
So I'm gonna come home, take a nap for an hour, and fucking run to Cobb's and tell dick jokes. So we'll see how that goes. We'll see how much energy I got with that. But so yeah, I'm pretty busy. Well, fortunately though, I don't have anybody at home to tell me no.
Yeah, that's a big plus.
No, there's nobody saying, "Hey, do you really have to go out tonight?" Until I get my fiance, who I met in Japan, until I get her over here. Once she's over here, I might have to slow down.
Maybe curtail it a little bit.
That's the first band I'm quitting. No, I'm kidding. No.
Well, they're right over there. They can come on over if you want.
Well, David said last night that he liked the old drummer better, so we were in the middle of playing, and in between songs, I hear, I like the old drummer better. No.
So what kind of kit do you have, and what do you need on your kit?
So I was getting to, and I got sidetracked when Rich Harris, who's the former drummer for Zed, bought a custom Gretsch,
right?
Specifically for Zed, and when he decided to not play with Zed anymore, he kind of decided that he had really no use for that kit.
Right.
He gave it to me.
No shit.
He gave it to me, and I told him he was fucking out of his mind.
Yeah.
Because a custom kit, custom sizes. You know what I mean? It's like
that ain't cheap.
20 by 24 inch kick drum.
Right.
With the rents in Silicon Valley, he can rent that shit out to people to live and make some money. It's a beautiful, beautiful kit. So that's the kit I use for Zed. I have for Hellbeard and All Time Highs. I have an acrylic shell kit. That's I got a Vistalite kick drum and Fibes toms.
Right.
Fibes in the 70s were the only drum company that rivaled the Vistalites.
Right.
So it's an all acrylic kit, and that thing's pretty badass. It's loud as fuck.
Yeah.
And then for Insolence and for stuff that's a little bit more, a little bit more smaller, not as loud stuff. I got what's called an artist custom Slingerland that was made in the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
That's basically it's a fusion style drum kit, a little 20-inch kick drum,
right.
small toms or whatever. And I play more, that's more for, hip hop kind of stuff or Insolence. Like I said, they're stuck in fucking 1999. And they mix.
Are they doing like the rap rock thing? Or?
They kind of still do that. Yeah.
I've seen some people doing that recently, and I'm like, guys, come on.
No, and I'm kind of with it too. I'm kind of like, let's do some new shit. You know what I mean? So, but they have a fan base. They got, they're the cliche still big in Japan. You know what I mean?
Really?
Oh yeah. That's why when
it used to be hair metal was big in Japan.
Yeah. Now. Well, it's interesting thing about Insolence. They started going over there in the early 2000s, and when they started going over there, there wasn't too many Japanese bands that were combining different genres of music.
Right.
So when Insolence goes over there, they kind of got responsible for a thing that they started calling Geki rock. Geki in Japanese loosely means the combination of styles. Mm-hmm. And be it that Insolence was combining, hip hop with rock with reggae and punk rock all kind of mixed together.
Okay.
And then in recent years, they were throwing in some drum and bass, and some electronic stuff. So as a drummer,
right,
to have all those tools in the bag and have to use all those tools, it's a fucking blast for me to play. Absolutely. I got to weave in and out of all these different genres and make it sound smooth enough that it doesn't, fuck anything up. You know what I mean? So for me, it's fucking a blast to play it. So, like I was saying, over time, bands in Japan started kind of catching on to, oh shit, we can mix stuff up and we can, because they kept shit really compartmentalized for a long time.
Right.
If you were whatever genre band you were doing, you stuck to that. You didn't really mix anything else. You know? So now they're starting to take some chances. The biggest form of flattery they have in Japan is copying your shit dead on. Of course. My fiance's favorite band is in Japan they're called the Cherry Cokes. And the Cherry Cokes sound dead the fuck on like Flogging Molly.
Really?
She I go, let me hear some of this shit you like to listen to, you know what I mean? She puts these guys on, and I'm like, oh, you dig Flogging Molly? She's all, no, it's not Flogging Molly. This is Cherry Cokes.
Cherry Cokes.
Cherry Cokes, she says.
Wow.
And I was blown the fuck away because it's in Japanese.
Yeah.
But it's Irish folk punk in Japanese.
Wow.
Dead the fuck on. I mean, they got the banjos and fiddles and that same fucking Irish fucking drinking song kind of vibe to it.
Yeah, like you got the Dropkick Murphys, you got Flogging Molly, and they're obviously going to be playing somewhere tomorrow.
They're playing here tomorrow?
No, I'm just saying, like, they're going to play somewhere tomorrow. It's the big day. It's the big
day.
I wonder if the Cherry Cokes play over there as that's...
Might as well. I know that they'll open it for... they said... she told me every time Flogging Molly comes to Japan, Cherry Cokes plays with them.
Wow.
So they're, again, the biggest form of flattery is to copy your shit fucking perfectly.
It was Flogging Molly opening for Flogging Molly, but
Exactly.
So with your drumming, I'm interested. Like, have you always been a drummer?
I've always been a drummer. I've been playing drums since I was 8.
And
I'm 40. I'm going to be 44 on Sunday.
How'd you get started and why?
The family kind of played. All my cousins played.
Right.
I had an older cousin who was starting to really just do some rad shit. He had the big, giant, double bass, all the toms drum kit.
Right.
And I was like, ooh.
Was it like a Neil Peart kit?
Yeah, totally. Yeah. He had Neil Peart all over his fucking walls.
Right.
You know what I mean? And he was getting into some really like progressive metal stuff.
Sure.
And his younger brother plays bass. In fact, his younger brother, my cousin, is in my acoustic project. Helps me out with that.
Right.
So between fucking Animal on the Muppets and my cousin Joe, I was super drawn to the drums and started kind of taking lessons and. I started taking a band, but my private lessons was moving along way faster than the bullshit I was playing for school band in elementary school. So I quit school band, and then about 2 years later, I was about in 6th grade. The band director's like, I heard you're still playing drums. Yeah, I'm still playing drums, but you told me I would never make it as a musician, so I don't know what you're bothering me with, you know what I mean?
Right.
Well, we're playing this piece. Can you play this piece? I'm like, I looked at the sheet music. All right, I'll play it. You know what I mean? So I came in, I did a couple rehearsals, played the shit spot on the paper. By the time the performance came on, I pulled a dick move and I just fucking just played hella loud, obnoxious, ruined the whole fucking night. He's scowling at me while he's conducting the band. And I was like, fuck you, dude. You're the one that said that I wasn't going to make it, you know?
And then all of a sudden.
So, you know, and that was, you know, 5th grade, 6th grade or whatever, you know. And then all through school, I was in marching band and did all that shit. So basically, the cats I ran with in junior high,
right,
when we got to high school,
right,
they became the football team.
Okay.
All my crew, they all became the football team. I went and joined the band.
Makes sense.
You know, and I was like, you know, they kept telling me, come play, dude, come play. You know what I mean? Because the summer before, we had just did like a, you know, flag football league or whatever.
Right.
You know, for our age group or whatever. And I'm like, you know what, man? I'm going to play drums.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to get a grade to bang on this drum.
Right.
You're going to blow your fucking knee out your senior year.
Yeah.
You
and
know,
complain about
I'm
it
going
when
to still be doing this. You know what I mean?
In 20, 30 years, you'll be complaining like, oh, my God.
Fast forward all these years later, these motherfuckers come to my show. They hobble in. You know what I mean? Because they're all fucked up, and I'm still playing drums, and you know, they're still my friends, and they support what I do, which is awesome. They come to my comedy gigs.
Right.
They come to all the different bands I do. And then, you know, some of them ain't even into shit. You know, they ain't into metal or heavier stuff. You know what I mean?
Right.
But just the fact that, you know, they like watching me play. You know, they're oh man, you still got it, man.
That's
you still
an old
got
friend,
it. You know?
you know?
They're my buddies. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I've always been playing. I've always and that, you know, to go back to not, you know, drinking or doing any drugs, or that was another thing that like I've kind of figured. Well, if I'm too fucked up and I can't play,
right.
You know what I mean? Everything was like, what's going to hinder the playing? Is something going to hinder my playing?
Yeah.
You know, we used to jump off the fucking school roof during the summer. Yeah, we would play on the roof of the elementary school during the summertime.
Doing some like badass wrestling moves or
Just going
something.
and we would jump off at the end of the day. And I was like, you know what? If I jump off and roll an ankle or fucking, I can't play drums for a few weeks, and that's going to suck. You know what I mean? And then my parents saw like my, you know, fever for drums, and every time I got in trouble,
right,
take my drums away from me. And I was like,
so you don't want to do that.
I started straightening up real quick. You know what I mean? So yeah, man, it's always been a thing. I mean, I really, honestly, at this point, can't imagine what I would have done
right
if I didn't start playing drums at that age. All the raddest shit that's ever happened to me has been a direct result of music. You know what I mean?
And you know what's crazy? It's like you talk to some people and it's like they go down a different rabbit hole.
Oh,
and
yeah.
that was the one that made you kind of straight. Like
Absolutely.
Up.
It was like, you know, if I'm going to do something that's going to fuck me up, I'm not going to do that.
Right.
Because it's going to fuck up my playing. You know what I mean? I want to play. You know what I mean? I was coming home, we're, you know, practicing for a couple hours a day. You know what I mean? I was really lucky that my parents were super supportive of me. I had my drums in my bedroom, you know, at a young age.
Right.
You know, my drum kit got so stupid big, I had to move half of it to get to my bed. You know what I mean? I remember when I was 10 years old. I had practiced earlier in the day. You know, I'm sitting there watching television with the old man.
Right.
I've been playing for a couple of years already. And we're watching television. I tell the old man, I say, Pop, I can still hear my cymbals ringing. He freaks out, right?
Yeah.
The next day, he comes home with the big box of the foam earplugs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's like, you sit down behind your drums, you put these in your goddamn ears, and I don't want to hear another goddamn word of it.
Right.
I'm like, okay, Pop. So, yeah, thank you. My old man saved my hearing.
Yeah, precautionary.
He saved my fucking hearing. I'd be deaf as fuck right now. All the, you know,
if you're playing from age 8, hell
playing
yeah.
with age 8, I hit my drums. I beat them like they owe me money. I use between Zed and Hellbeard and fucking all-time highs. I don't use any crash cymbals. I use ride cymbals for crashes.
Really?
So I bash the fuck out of them and just make them. I got to hit them hard to make them sing.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, you know, I play like a gorilla. And I've been playing next to fucking Marshall Stacks since 89.
Right.
You know, I've been playing in clubs in bands since I was 14.
Right. So you
I've been doing some shit. I've been doing some
and
shit.
you got to protect yourself, no doubt.
So and if the old man didn't do that then, you know what I mean, I wouldn't, you know, like I said, I wouldn't be able to hear shit.
Back in those days when you were starting out in the clubs and you're like, you know, teenager. Did you do more covers, originals?
I've always done originals.
Really?
My very first band was a band called Hate. We were a thrash metal band because we were in the Bay Area.
Yeah.
We're just surrounded by it. If you're not doing that, you're weird. That was just, and then we had some friends that were in some, bands that were coming up, and then they were friends with the bigger bands like fucking, Violence and fucking Forbidden and all those bands. Those were all the bands we were growing up with. Those were all our, we'd go to backyard parties and see fucking Violence play in a fucking backyard somewhere. You know what I mean?
Can you imagine? It was like a house show or
seeing
something like
fucking
that.
Phil Demo and Rod Flim, who, become Machine Head later on, playing a fucking backyard. You know what I mean? It just,
blows your mind.
Well, but we didn't know any better. You know what I mean? That's what we were coming up with. You know what I mean? So that's what we were doing. That band did pretty good. We got to open my first kind of taste of a big show. We played at the Stone in San Francisco, which is not there anymore, but legendary place, the Stone.
Right.
And we opened up for Suicidal Tendencies on the Lights Camera Revolution tour.
Oh, fantastic!
Main support for Suicidal on that tour was Pantera.
Oh, Pantera. Was that the
Cowboys from Hell had just come out.
Yeah.
It was from what I remember talking with those guys, because they were fucking stoked to be in San Francisco.
Absolutely.
I believe it was their first show in California.
Really?
They hadn't come out west at all. They had stayed in Dallas and, maybe came to Arizona or New Mexico or whatever, but they had never come to California up to that point. So this is the first time they're playing California, and they fucking wrecked the place. But I remember the night before, that show was on a Sunday, and I remember staying up late watching Headbangers Ball the night before.
Sure, as we all did growing up.
Fucking Cemetery Gates, the video for Cemetery Gates came on. And because none of us knew who the fuck Pantera was at that point, we had never heard of him. And I, hook up with the guys the next day. We're getting ready to go to the show. And I say, hey, man, I saw a video for Pantera last night.
Right.
We better be on our game, Jack.
Hell yeah.
Those motherfuckers throw down. You know what I mean?
Bring it.
You know what I mean?
Or
So,
they did.
they were, and the cool thing, they watched us.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
cool.
They watched us, and they gave us some fucking really good compliments. I mean, we were kids, dude.
Yeah.
I was 15.
Right.
I was 15 doing that show.
So-
And the other guys in my band, a couple of guys were barely 20, 21.
Right.
You know what I mean? So we were young, and they paid attention to our shit. In fact, sang a couple of the riffs back to us. Daryl was like, hey, man, yo, I got that one riff, man. He sang the riff back to us. I was like, holy shit, these motherfuckers paid attention, Vinnie Paul, that was a hefty dude at that point, you know what I mean?
Yeah, he's a big
I
dude.
remember looking at his feet, and he was wearing Keds.
Right.
Keds back in the day, I don't even know if they make them anymore. They were chick shoes,
Yeah.
the little white shoes, and he had them things laced on. I could see the fat bulging out between the laces, and it made his feet look all thin and slender. And he's throwing down his fucking weird ass double bass that he does and shit. And I was just like, we watched it from the side. And the other thing, the first time I had seen this, and this is back when he was still Diamond Daryl.
Yeah.
If you remember, you look at the look at the liner notes on Cowboys from Hell. He's still Diamond Daryl. So Diamond Daryl, he had a little grommet dude. This dude was small little dude.
Right.
Hit all his pedals for him. I never seen that before up to that point. I never seen somebody work somebody's pedals. So
Really?
the dude would bring out his wah, and Daryl would do his solos with his wah or whatever. But
Right.
he wasn't switching his distortions or none of that shit. He had a dude had him mounted on the side of the cabinet, and he would just pound it with his fist. Bow. The part
Really?
come in and boom, hit he was on it, like super integral part of their band, because he's switching all the dude's channels for him and shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I thought that was pretty trippy. And then I'd seen him later. Same thing. I would see this little dude run out, put the wall out there. He'd do his shit with the wall, and he'd run out and grab it. So yeah.
Wow.
Dime never touched the pedal after a while. He had a dude doing all his pedal, and the trust you need to have for some cat
trust with that.
to know, oh yeah, he needs this fucking on this downbeat bow, hit these, combination of pedals or whatever, you know what I mean? So, like I said, I had never seen that up until that point, but I thought that was really cool. But they were really cool. We didn't meet Phil though. We didn't meet Anselmo. He stayed in their bus. But we talked to
He was quiet.
We talked to the Abbott brothers, and they were fucking cool, man. They were really, really cool. And like I said, they were stoked to be out of Texas. They're stoked to be in California playing. You know what I mean? Like I said, this was 1990. You know what I mean?
Just the start of their career.
They were just about to blow. And then when they came back around, they did a tour with. They played San Francisco again right after with Wrathchild America.
Yeah, I saw that tour.
Okay.
I saw that tour in New York.
And then the next time they played, they were fucking opening up for Skid Row.
Oh my God!
And we were like, "What the fuck are they doing playing with Skid Row?"
How does that work?
Well, I learned later. Skid Row liked the fact that they can get good weed from the dudes from Pantera.
Yeah, Phil never had a shortage, and neither did Dime.
Yeah, so Skid Row takes out Pantera because they can get their drugs better from that.
Oh, Jesus. Can you imagine?
So, at least, I mean, allegedly, of course, right? That's what we heard. That was the word on the street back in the day, you know.
So while you say you're in these, kind of hardcore or more punky bands, was that major? Were those the major influences growing up?
My major influence was, I tell everybody, I learned how to play drums to the Shout of the Devil record.
Right.
Motley Crue. I mean, it's an exaggeration a little bit, but I spent a lot of time playing to that record.
What was your favorite track off that to play?
My favorite track was probably "Too Young to Fall in Love."
Really?
Because that's the two-handed on the hi-hat thing. It was slower, the groove of it.
Slow groove.
And then later on, once I started playing more thrashier stuff and trying to play fast,
right.
We always, even though we were a thrash metal band, that first band I had, we still gravitated towards stuff that was slower because it just made sense to us that slower was heavier.
Right.
And so we started slowing stuff down, and people kind of bugged out because we would do our little thrashy, blast beaty parts or whatever.
Sure.
And then we just turn around and just, go into a really slower part. And everyone's like, you guys are a little weird.
Well,
it didn't seem weird to us. It just made sense. We were trying to be as heavy as fuck, you know what I mean? But, and then after a while, I was like, you know what? How slow can I play?
And so you slowed down further?
It took a while to get there, you know what I mean? I did a really weird route there for some years. I played in, one of the first bands that fucking ruined my mind as far as how I thought I could play or what I could do. The first club show I go to,
right?
Again, at the Stone. I'm 14. We haven't even started playing our little band yet.
Right.
But we go see Death Angel, and Primus was main support.
Wow.
And I saw Primus for the first time.
Yeah.
And it just blew my face off, and I went out as soon as I saved up some money or got my allowance together or just bugged my own man. Bought a little piccolo snare drum. I started buying splash cymbals. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I started bringing in a more quote-unquote funk style playing into the heavier stuff I was doing. And then I got to a point where I was a Tim Alexander clone for a long time.
Right.
So between, early years playing, more rock, quote hair metal kind of shit with Motley Crue and Rat and all that stuff. I was, had the headphones strapped to my head, learning all those songs, and then I start getting into heavier music, and start playing along with Metallica records and start doing that. And then, but when I finally found Primus, I was like, I can kind of do this.
Right.
So I went this whole route. And then, through the late 90s into the early 2000s, I did I had my own band in the East Bay that was a rap metal kind of thing. Mm-hmm. We were really heavy on the rap part, though. Really? We always felt like the rap metal bands didn't do the rap part enough. Mm-hmm. So we had a legit MC that was like street kid, thug as fuck.
Right.
Like, he'd show up about 15 minutes before we were supposed to go on.
Oh, great.
And he'd make us nervous every fucking time. But, he'd come in and he had a mean look on his face. He'd go up there. He only flowed. And he was, like I said, he was a real deal hip hop dude.
Right.
And he would do his shit. And we would come down musically and try to do what we felt was rap music, but live.
Sure.
And then we started bringing in a lot of electronic stuff. I had a bunch of sequencer stuff and, 808s and fuck just... We would do as much rap music live as we could to cater to him. And then as soon as he was done singing, bow, hit with heavy shit. Right. And our stuff was really slow. It was a more slow, more down-tempo kind of stuff. So everyone bugged out because, again, here we are. We're fucking heavy, but yet we got this fucking street thug fucking flowing.
What is he doing now?
He drives trucks in Santa Cruz. He did that band, and after that band was done, he just started working and just met a chick and
wow,
he taught himself how to play the bass, which was pretty cool, and we've jammed a few times, and it was funny because his feel is my feel, because he basically learned music playing with us. He had never been in a band before. You know what I mean?
Who knows? Maybe you can do a little collab sometime.
He don't got the fire for it anymore.
Oh,
you know what I
really?
mean? Like we've been asked to, that band was called Lickasto.
Really?
Licasto, Lickasto. And we had a good run in the Bay Area. We were a lot of our friends were getting signed and we were getting passed over.
Sure.
And we had a few opportunities to play in front of some labels, had some guys take us to dinner and shit,
Wow.
We got close, but he was such a thug, he scared the shit out of these guys.
Real.
I'm saying he was a real deal. You know what I mean? He was.
So what was his turnaround when he met his woman? Or?
Just got older. I mean, he was a little bit younger than the rest of us too.
Okay.
We were all at that time. We were in our mid-20s. Getting into our late 20s.
Right.
And he's in his early 20s still.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So he's he was about 3 or 4 years younger than me.
Yeah.
And and like I said, he'd never been in a band before.
Right.
Everybody else. This was all our, third or fourth band at that point, you know what I mean? So it just took him a while to kind of learn the ropes, and he's stubborn as fuck. We couldn't, hey man, you got to, maybe kind of do this. Fuck you motherfuckers. I ain't trying to, you know what I mean? I ain't trying to hear your bullshit, you know what I mean? So he had to learn on his own, you know what I mean? And then towards the end, about fucking 6 years into doing that band, he started to really come around, and he was a force to be reckoned with. He learned how to work a crowd.
Right.
He learned how to. He knew he had them in their hands. You know what I mean? And he would just. It was a sight to see, and he really learned how to perform, and he really learned how to do some really cool shit.
And did you ever release anything with that?
Just locally, nothing officially.
Right.
We did a couple of EPs, and then we did a full length. That came. I think the full length came out in 2004. And we were on our way to doing some shit, and we were starting to bring in a lot of electronic stuff,
right?
Stuff that we weren't hearing other bands doing. And when we stopped playing, a few years later, we start hearing bands start working in the dubstep kind of weird stuff into their stuff, and we were already doing that. Like, we were already using some of those sounds before anybody was using those sounds. I mean, I'm not trying to toot my own horn and say, we were ahead of the curve, fuck all y'all, you know what I mean? But
some people are.
But we were on, in fact, one of those guitar players, we had two guitar players. It was two guitars, bass, me on drums, and we had our MC. One of the guitar players is the guitar player in All Time Highs with me.
Right.
The other guitar player is the guitar player in Hellbeard with me.
Hellbeard.
So I'm still playing with these cats, you know what I mean? And they're my, some of my best friends on the planet, you know what I mean?
So now, but here's a question.
We've grown together and, grown in different ways. And,
you grow.
Yeah.
The question, as you're talking about this, I don't think I've ever asked this, and I probably should have. So you have this wealth of material in a bunch of different bands, and going back years. Now, do you save any of that? Like, I know you say you had some small release here, small release there. Do you keep all that as a part of your history?
I got most of it. Most of it. There's a couple bands. There's one band in particular I don't have any of the stuff I played on.
Right.
And I did.
Right.
And I've lost it just for whatever. Moved too many times or whatever. You know what I mean?
You think anybody else has it?
Yeah, I could get it from the. Yeah, I'm still friends with those guys in this one.
Now,
particular.
do you ever by chance just go on YouTube and check out to see if anybody has video? Or
I try to find some of the Lickasto stuff because again, this when we were getting at it, it was a little pre-internet. You know what I mean?
Right,
so.
Right.
If anybody filmed it,
VHS or something.
Well, yeah, there was a couple of cats that were bringing in a big dumb camcorder, or it was just when we finished, people were just starting to have the little digital cameras.
Sure.
And they were expensive still.
Yeah.
But a couple of people would have them, and they, so there's some stuff floating around. I got some friends that have some stuff, and they keep, promising me that they're gonna, burn it down to a DVD for me. But I think they're full of shit. But yeah,
years ago, I had one of those small ones, and there was, I used to go to this local burger joint to get some stuff to eat.
Yeah.
And there was this kid there, and he had a band, and he was like, "Would you come check us out?" And I'm like, "Yeah, absolutely." You know, I like the music. It's decent. Actually, they did a great cover of "Walk" from Pantera.
Right. Yeah.
And so I got there, and I was like, "Well, is anybody going to record this?" And he's like, I I don't know. So next time I went, I brought the recorder.
Cool.
And I would bring the recorders to all the shows. I have all his shows on tape. I cannot find this kid anywhere.
Wow.
I've looked on social media, but then again, I don't know what his real name is.
Oh,
At the time, he was this pencil thin kid. And this is a shout out to Twiggy.
Twiggy, where you at, son?
Twiggy in South Florida. If you're somewhere in Palm Beach, dude, find me, hit me up. I've got your tapes. So
that would be awesome if he hears. He's like, oh shit.
Yeah, could you imagine? That would
be the shit. That'd be awesome. But no, man, I started doing this shit before there was easy ways to record your stuff and easy ways to, my roommate, he's a young dude. He's only, 25, 26 or whatever.
Still wet behind the ears.
He's still wet, but he's got a band. He's got a cool kind of gothy, industrial, kind of trippy band. They wear weird boots and have trippy haircuts. You know what I mean?
Sure.
They're really good. They're called Direct Collapse from the Bay Area. Mm-hmm. And he was complaining that the video they made wasn't getting enough likes.
Okay.
And I said, you motherfucker. First of all, you know what we had to do? We were going to try to make a video back in the day?
Right.
It just was not happening. You're fucking stealing your mom's camcorder, and you're, recording over a vacation video or whatever the fuck, you know what I mean? Much less, recording.
Dad's private porn stash.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? Yeah, recording over him and mom fucking going at it. Which you probably want to record it. Yeah. I'm doing you a favor, Jack. But then, even if you wanted to record, you know what I mean? Hopefully somebody had, a really cool 4-track that you could go into somebody's garage and maybe record. Or maybe you got enough money together that you can go to some guy's garage where he's got a fucking setup of some stuff. Or maybe somebody's got a fucking 8-track ADAT you can record on. Right?
Fancy.
So, yeah, I mean, it was fucking hard back in the day. You know what I mean? This guy's complaining about fucking likes on his video that they made with their fucking phones. And the video's fucking amazing.
Really?
It's fucking awesome. And they made it with their goddamn phone. So that guy can lick balls. But no, I love him. I love the dude. But yeah, it's just
it's a different time.
It's a different time. You know what I mean? Like, it's easier to get your stuff up. It's easier to get your stuff up so people can see it. And but with that, there's a lot of garbage.
Totally.
It's a real saturated kind of thing, and hopefully the good stuff floats to the top. You know what I mean? And but for me, I mean, at this point, I'm fucking, like I said, I'm gonna be 44 on Sunday.
Right.
And I've been doing this shit a long time.
Right.
And my band Lickestone was the one band where I really pushed to really try to chase the dream. You know what I mean? We try to get the right demo to the right label to the right dude.
Sure,
you know
hustled.
what I mean? We hustled. We really hustled. But after that was done, I took a little time to of not playing in bands for a little while.
Right.
And then
you had to get over it a little bit.
It hurt a little bit.
Probably hurt a lot of it.
It hurt a little bit. It set up my drums and and at that point, I mean, all my playing energy was concentrated on that band.
Look, you put your heart and soul into it.
I my voice in my playing was for that band.
Right.
Everything I did was for that band. I didn't, I didn't really. I wasn't playing with anybody else. I wasn't doing any other thing, and I focused on that. Like, everything I was developing was for that band.
Right.
And so when that band got done, I felt like I had no purpose in my playing anymore. And so what I did was I kind of went back to that old shit. I went back to that Motley Crue shit. I went back to my Primus shit. I went back to I went through a whole Rush phase at one point. So I went back to those old jams and just strapped the headphones back on the head and just kind of revisit that shit.
Yep.
And kind of like, okay, this feels good. And then guitar player from Lickestone came at me with an idea. He's like, what if we go the opposite route of what we were doing before, and let's just do this dirty rock and roll shit?
Dirty rock.
I go, what do you mean? And then he was into this band called the Bronx. Mm-hmm. And now, I fucking love the Bronx now, you know what I mean? He's like, check this shit out. I was like, fuck, yeah. And it was just, had a punk attitude, kind of, but, again, those big AC/DC chords. Mm-hmm. And it just had some, had some more hair on it, you know what I mean? So that was the jumping off point for All Time Highs. And we start, getting some shit together and
sure,
put an ad in the, on some polls and got another guitar player, and got a couple guys came in and, tried out on bass, but we didn't have a singer. We had this other guy singing for us, but I wasn't quite feeling the dude. Like, he wore a blazer and shit. You know what I mean? I was like, you know what I mean?
Is he from the 80s? Or like,
I don't know what his trip was.
New wave? Did he have a skinny tie?
Yeah, he was from that. He was from that, but
Yeah.
I wasn't feeling rocking out with a dude wearing a blazer. You know what I mean?
it doesn't quite fit.
So the other guitar player who had came in, my buddy Jason, who I'm still friends with now,
Right.
because we pull that band out once in a while. We don't really do it too often, but he had met Mark Ossegata from Death Angel at Folsom Street Fair in San Francisco, which is the S&M Street Fair that San Francisco has every year.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, oh yeah. You see a lot of gnarly shit if you're not into that shit. He just got to talking to him at a bar and was like, how busy is Death Angel? And at that time, Death Angel wasn't very busy at all. And
About what year?
this is 05.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And he's like, I got a CD of some rehearsals that we're doing. We're doing this kind of rock and roll shit. What do you think? You know what I mean? And they exchanged emails and shit like that. And then he came back. He was like, I love this shit. He's like, I want to scream over this shit.
Right.
So we set up a time for him to come in, and we were a little giddy, and we're like, fuck, Mark Ossegata's gonna come in and try out for our band. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then I started thinking, I go, you know what? This motherfucker's trying out for my band. You know what I mean? I was having the attitude like, well, I hope I'm good enough for him to play for me. I'm like, no, motherfucker, he's coming to play for me.
Yeah,
you
I'm
know what I
testing
mean?
him out.
I'm testing him out. You know what I mean? Of course, he fucking nails it, right? He fucking comes in. Subconsciously, the voice I was hearing over our shit was his. Just for being a fan of the band for a long time. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? And it ended up working out great. And he told us, he's all doing all time highs. Helped me rethink of how I was going to do the Death Angel shit.
Right.
So, because he didn't write all the lyrics for Death Angel for a long time. Rob, the guitar player, wrote a lot of lyrics.
I mean, the Ultraviolence was.
Oh, isn't that shit's the
king.
best, right? You know what I mean? But Andy, the drummer at the time, he would help write lyrics too.
Right.
Once they saw him doing what he was doing with us,
Right.
they kind of let him handle all the vocals, and so now Mark's writing all the vocals. Now the last 3 Death Angel records have been phenomenal, and
the resurgence is amazing.
He sounds better than ever. His voice is so fucking strong.
It's matured.
But he can do, like, Ultraviolence, he's a little squirrely, those early records, vocally, right? But he could do those bitch screams back then, right?
Yep.
He brought that shit back. The latest Death Angel record, there's a whole section where he's fucking bitch screaming over the whole thing.
Right.
And I grabbed him, after I heard that, I was like, you motherfucker, you brought that shit back, you old man, you're bringing that shit back. And I got to give that guy props, man. He's worked his ass off on his vocals, and he's fucking sounding better than ever and stronger than ever, and it's a testament to his work ethic and him really the voice is fucking tough, man.
Yeah,
it shit wears out.
Yep.
And when you get older, you can't do the shit, just like anything, Yeah,
you lose your the high end and
yeah. He's got it back. And I got to give the guy props every time I get a chance, man, because he's really worked his ass off to make it happen.
Shout out to him.
Shout out to Mark Ossegata. That's my brother, man. That dude's a bad motherfucker, man.
Now, I know that y'all have to cut out here. I appreciate you.
No, thank you for talking to me, man. Yeah,
it was
awesome.
an absolute blast.
Oh, cool, man.
Just before you go,
yes,
could you tell everybody how to reach Everything Zed and any of the other
You know
projects?
what? These guys would be actually better at me. Hey, Mark, tell the people how to get a hold of the Zed stuff.
Could you come over here for a sec?
Sure. Introduce yourself, sir.
How you doing?
Hey, brother.
What's going on?
I'm Chris.
Mark. Nice to meet you. I play bass.
Yeah, I saw the set. It was crazy, man.
Oh, cool. Glad you dug it, man. Thank you.
I know you guys had to head out. Could you just tell me a little bit about how we can reach you and how we can get all your merch?
Yeah. If you go to, first of all, we're on Ripple Music. You can go to ripplemusic.bandcamp.com, and it's got some of our stuff. Or you could go to zedisdead.com. That's ZEDISDED.com.
Right.
And that's got links to all our merch and stuff like that.
Perfect. Awesome. Thank you so much. Thanks for stopping by.
Yeah, thank you, man.
Appreciate you all. He's a killer. He's a killer dude, bro.
Yeah, he is.
This is a great interview. You're a character, brother.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I'll do what I can,
Great time. I can't wait
right,
to
man.
see you guys when you come out to Arizona.
Thank you. Appreciate
Thanks.
it, man. Take care.
Cheers.
I want to give a big thank you to Sean and Mark of Zed. Truly appreciate their time. Thank you so much. And if you need to reach us, you can at doomtombpodcast@gmail.com. How about this? Let's go into another track. This is from one of the other bands that Sean has going on called Hellbeard. This is Maiden of Mercy. This next band up is called False Gods. They're out of New York, New York. They just released something new called Reports from Oblivion. Let's hear that title track right now. This is Reports from Oblivion. This band is the band Gorge, and they're out of Simsbury, Connecticut. This track is called Dreambender. Find them on Bandcamp, and as always, we'll have a bunch of links in the show notes. Check out this track. Thanks as always for hanging out towards the end. If you need to reach us on social media, you can do so. It's Doom Tomb Podcast. And on Instagram and Facebook, but more Instagram because that bit rate when it gets transferred sometimes looks so crappy on Facebook. So check out Instagram page and you'll see what shows we're going to and gives a little hint as to what interviews we might have coming up in the near future. So, next podcast, we have Paul from the band King Chiefs. It's a long interview. I'm going to separate it into probably two parts, and we cover a lot of ground, a lot of material, and it's really a great ride, so I hope you enjoy it. Until that time, Keep going to the shows, buy some band merch every once in a while, and don't forget to stay heavy.